A Spokane police officer is facing rape charges. He was able to walk out of the jail because his bond was set at $0.
You know, words alone are scarce to describe a DUI crash.
An Idaho family is sharing the impact of a bad decision behind the wheel.
Certain foods tend to either give me a stomach ache or, make you feel bloated.
Food sensitivity kits promise to give you more insight into your health, but do they really work?
You know, words alone are scarce to describe a DUI crash.
A North Idaho family left devastated by a drunk driver is sharing their story tonight. It comes amid an increased push by local authorities to crack down on DUIs around the holiday season. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Tom Sherry. KREM 2's Taylor Vito shares the story of the Allen family and their son who was killed by a drunk driver earlier this year.
It's very simple. We're here to advocate for Ryan, and we're here to advocate for all victims.
A simple message surrounded by emotions that are anything but. The family of Ryan Allen wants you to know his face and his name. It's a topic that's not necessarily easy for his parents to talk about. It hasn't even been a year since a drunk driver took his life. This photo was at an intersection on Highway 95 near Hayden last March. The Allens were heading home from a birthday party when a drunk driver slammed into their car.
It was as if I was in a sphere that just kept going around and around. It wouldn't stop.
Ryan was ejected in the crash and died. He was 38 years old.
He loved people. He loved life.
Emotions shown by someone who had already been through so much. When Ryan was just 11, he was struck by a drunk driver and was confined to a wheelchair. He then spent his time volunteering and advocating for children to wear helmets.
But he was an amazing young man who took a trial and turned it into something very positive.
Now, parents Pat and Vern Allen are trying to accomplish a positive of their own. Since the crash last spring, the Allens have started sharing Ryan's story and issuing public pleas to would-be drunk drivers. They've started a nonprofit. And behind the Allens, a sea of blue. Local law enforcement agencies are sharing a renewed emphasis to catch drunk drivers. Today, departments stretching from eastern Washington to Montana announced plans to crack down on DUIs around the holidays. Some agencies will have devoted DUI teams. These officers know firsthand that just one tragic story like the Allens is already too many. And this still grieving family agrees.
It was hard to put this picture up. Ryan was our inspiration.
In North Idaho, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
In other news, Idaho will not share driver's license information with the U.S. Census. Last month, the Census Bureau said it would be asking states to share driver's license records after the president issued an executive order.
President Trump said that was to expand data about the U.S. citizenship status of every person living in the United States. According to the Washington Post, Oregon, Alaska, Illinois, and Maine will also not share their records.
Well, it is almost ski season, Tom. We're taking a live look, or a time lapse rather, of Silver Mountain. Opening day scheduled for this Friday. Schweitzer also opening this Friday. And Tom, down here in Spokane, we might see a tiny bit of snow.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll see more snow up in the mountains, and then any snow that falls, not going away. It's going to get cold, dry, and even some wind we'll talk about. Head with me over here, if you will. We'll talk about the high wind watch. This is for Wednesday. Could see wind. It's everywhere you see shaded in brown right here, which includes Spokane, just barely, but not to the south of us, and also into Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls. It'll be the northern valleys that will see the strongest wind gusts, but again, could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Again, that's for Wednesday. When we take a look at the holiday pass travel right now, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. We get a little bit of light snow Wednesday, so we'll look for moderate conditions then. Thursday, though, it looks like we're going to just see dry conditions through Saturday. So good travel conditions, I think, across the passes, at least right now. Sunday, we may see a little bit of snow redevelop. So let's take a look at the current Doppler radar. You've got some rain, and then it turns into snow as it begins to move up through the mountains of the Blue Mountains in southeastern Washington. No precipitation occurring here in the Spokane area. Closer view, again, shows a little bit of that light snow just south of Ritzville. Very, very light. it really doesn't turn to snow until it gets, again, over those higher elevations in southeastern Washington and northeastern Oregon. So we'll look for mostly clear skies tonight. Patchy fog, patchy freezing fog setting up in the overnight hours, down to 25, 43 the expected high tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, and again, could see some scattered snow showers across the area, but most of it will not stick. And then the cold weather moves in for the weekend. Overnight lows in the teens, daytime highs will struggle to get up to freezing. Might hit 32 on Sunday.
Look at that, 14 degrees overnight.
Oh
my
my
goodness. Thank you, Tom.
They deserve to have their campus police respond immediately and with urgency when they report that someone is committing crimes against them.
A former Utah Supreme Court justice is joining the Lord McCluskey lawsuit against the University of Utah. McCluskey was a Pullman native. She was shot and killed by her ex-boyfriend on the university's campus last year. Justice Christine Durham and McCluskey's parents say the university could have done something but didn't.
In June, her parents filed a $56 million lawsuit against the university, saying the school's police failed to protect her after Lauren contacted them more than 20 times before she was killed. But the university filed a dismissal in September, citing lack of evidence.
A judge says an Idaho transgender inmate must get her first pre-surgical treatment by tomorrow. Audrey Edmo was a transgender woman who is currently housed in a men's prison. She was granted the surgery after a judge said it was necessary for her mental health.
Edmo would be the first Idaho inmate ever to receive gender confirmation surgery while in custody. The surgery has received criticism in the past, including from Idaho Governor Brad Little. He said taxpayer money should not be used for her surgery.
So I love the fact that I can just take this test. It's just a simple finger prick, mail it off, get your results back, and then you know what your sensitivities are from there.
At-home food sensitivity tests are booming in popularity. You don't need a doctor's appointment. You don't even need to leave your house. You just need to buy the kit, send in a small blood sample, and within a few days, the results are emailed right to you.
And they promised to show you what foods like dairy or wheat you might be sensitive to. So we gave that test to 3 volunteers who were hoping to learn more about what in their diet is giving them issues. And we also asked an expert, are these tests legitimate? For $150, the Everlywell Food Sensitivity Test promises to tell you how your immune system reacts to 96 different foods. We found this one on Amazon, where roughly 175 users give it 3 out of 5 stars.
But I've always had food allergies and sensitivities.
Our 3 volunteers are hoping the test will give them some direction with their diets and what they should eliminate or reduce to, in general, feel better.
Certain foods tend to either give me a stomach ache or, make you feel bloated.
I would say the driving factor for me in wanting to do this is to boost my immune system, to help me get my energy back.
And if I can get it back and I can start eliminating the foods that could be causing my problems, then definitely you just get a jump start on the whole thing.
Dan Lamphere was diagnosed with a type of rheumatoid arthritis, and he wonders if certain foods are making his symptoms worse. Bailey Coveo was curious if certain foods are taxing her immune system and adding to her fatigue. And Teresa Meyer is hoping to learn if long-time issues with certain foods like dairy remain.
Okay, now for the fun part. Just like that.
The test requires a finger prick.
Oh boy, all right.
And that you squeeze out a few drops of blood onto a card. That you then place into the provided envelope and mail off to the lab where it's analyzed.
And we're ready to go. And we'll ship this off.
A week later, Dan, Bailey, and Teresa had their results. How you feeling right now? Excited, nervous, anxious?
A little anxious and nervous, actually. I'm curious to see what it's going to show. All right, here we go. Your test showed an Ig reactivity above normal to 12 foods.
Teresa's results showed she had mild reactivity to 9 foods, including chicken, egg yolks, garlic, and wheat. And she had moderate reactivity to mushrooms, yeast, and egg whites.
I love eggs.
Dang it.
Dang it, they have eggs almost every day.
Here we go. Ooh, interesting.
Bailey's results only showed mild reactivity to 6 foods, including almonds, chicken, egg whites, garlic, mushrooms, and tuna. Are you surprised by any of those?
Yes, almond. I eat almonds. I drink almond milk because, right, I've eliminated dairy out of my diet. So I don't feel anything when I eat almonds.
Not nervous?
No.
Excited?
Kind of excited.
What if it says you cannot have any more beer or chocolate?
It's going to kill me. Or garlic. I'm really worried about garlic.
Dan's results showed he had moderate reactivity to coffee, cow's milk, and yogurt, and mild reactivity to 17 foods, including banana, chicken, wheat, and...
Here's the big one. This is garlic.
So you're almost moderate in garlic.
I'm almost moderate in garlic, which that can't be good.
Are you surprised by any of the results at all?
I am actually. I am, but I'm gonna have to do a little more research because I don't know what mild reactivity means.
Right. For that answer, we went to Multicare Rockwood registered dietitian and nutritionist Jen Ropp.
They're not necessarily that accurate for starters.
She points out food sensitivity is not an official medical diagnosis, and she says tests like this one can be anywhere from 50 to 80% inaccurate. She worries they'll lead people to unnecessarily eliminate healthy foods from their diet.
And a lot of these tests, and really most of them, are not even regulated by any kind of medical professional or part of our medical system. So just like a lot of the supplements that are out there, it can be really just kind of pie in the sky, if you could say, not really a real test.
As for our volunteers, Bailey, who just had mild reactivity to a half a dozen foods, wasn't sure if she'd changed her diet based on the results.
Garlic? I don't know. I love garlic. I don't know if I could give that up. It's almost a weird thing. Like, would I want to feel bad and have garlic?
Teresa told us she planned to cut out foods she had moderate reactivity to see if she noticed an improvement.
So I'll see how I feel, with a total elimination, and then I'll see if I can maybe slowly work them back in.
And Dan said he's debating whether to stop drinking milk and eating yogurt for a short period of time to see if his arthritis symptoms improve.
I might cut out some of the dairy to see, just because it is a big part of my diet in the morning.
So we reached out to Everlywell, the company behind this particular test that we gave to our volunteers, and they tell us each test is reviewed by an independent board-certified physician. The company says think of it more as a tool rather than a solution. They say it could help you narrow down the top foods that are causing you or could cause you symptoms. You would still follow up that test with an elimination diet documenting how those top foods might be impacting you. We will also, by the way, stay in touch with our volunteers to see if they notice any improvements after adjusting their diet based on that test.
Interesting.
Yeah, the test is really appealing to a lot of people because
Yeah.
it's about $150 and you get the results. It took a little bit less than a week, about 5 days they had the results in. So we'll see what happens with them. With their diets, if
I know.
they feel better.
We know all three of them, so I'm going to kind of follow along.
All right, we'll keep you posted.